Hi there, welcome to what, Series 15 and about number 23 we're thinking, and we're looking at Genesis 32. And this is where Jacob sends all of his gifts off to Esau. It says, "So he lodged there that same night, and he took what came to his hand as a present for Esau his brother, 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their colts, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 foals. Then he delivered them to the hand of his servants. Every drove by itself, and said to his servants, 'Pass over before me and put some distance between successive droves.' And he commanded the first one, saying, 'When Esau my brother meets you and asks you, saying, "To whom do you belong and where are you going? Whose are these in front of you?" Then you shall say, "They are your servant Jacob's. It is a present sent to my lord Esau, and behold, he is also behind us." So he commanded the second and third, and all those followed the drove, saying, "In this manner you shall speak to Esau when you find him, and also say, Behold, your servant Jacob is behind us." For he said, "I will appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterwards I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept me." So the present went on over before him, but he himself lodged that night in the camp. Now, this is some story, isn't it? He took what came to his hand as a present to Esau, his brother. Jacob sent such an impressive set of gifts because he wanted to make it completely clear to Esau that he did not need or want anything from him. It's also probably an attempt to buy his brother's good favour, to appease him, particularly if he had all these years held a grudge against him. Goes on to talk about, "I will appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterwards I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept me." Jacob seems to be a good example of the principle, when all else fails, pray. As soon as he finished praying, he took up his own strategies again. Did you notice that? What we talked about last week was all about praying, and this week he comes up with this whole thing by himself. After all, if Jacob really trusted God, he would be at the head of the procession to meet Esau, not at the back. That seems a bit gutless in some ways, doesn't it? Jacob hoped, and perhaps he will accept me, is his concept. But Jacob also seemed to think, perhaps he will kill me, just like he said he would. I suppose he thinks that his brother has the same thought processes as he does all of these years later. So the present went on over before him. This gift is a good example of the way believers may trust in their ability to do things and make things happen apart from trusting God. A popular traditional Christian song, well, the words of it go like this: "All to Jesus I surrender. All to him I freely give. I will ever love and trust him. In his presence daily live. I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Saviour. I surrender all." The question's got to be asked, though, do we? God's people so often are like Jacob. We say, "I surrender all," but what he's done is, "I surrender all my goats and give them as a bribe in some ways. If that isn't enough, I surrender some sheep. If that isn't enough, I surrender some camels." To this point, what Jacob refused to do was surrender himself, truly trusting in God's promise for protection. I think we've all got to take that on board. Do we surrender all, or do we just sing the song and say it because it's nice? Okay. Goes on and says what care he takes about the whole affair. We cannot blame Jacob, I suppose, under the circumstances, because his brother said he was going to kill him. Yet how much grander is the quite noble demeanour of Abraham further back in the story, who trusted in God and leaves the matters more in God's hands than in his own hands. We'll leave it there for today. Have a great day. Bless you.